defense. Did everything a lot better than we did tonight.
Wasn't like they reinvented the defense out there. It was just really us not doing a good job with anything.
Gonna have to work our way out of it. Obviously, we've got a lot of work to do.
Not gonna make predictions. It's about hard work. It's about commitment. It's about being disciplined. It's about doing the right thing. We all gotta get back to work.
What's up, guys? Courtney Cox here, and welcome into the NESN Digital Studio for another episode of Patriots Now. The weather is turning in New England, and it's kind of reflecting the current record for the Pats. It's cold, it's dreary, it's angry. 26-10 was the final in Detroit as the Pats took on their former defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia. But the Pats need to put it behind them because they now take on the Miami Dolphins at home. Whoa, I'm sorry. The 3-0 Miami Dolphins. I want to make one thing very clear. This will not be a cakewalk. Ryan Tannehill is playing possibly the best football of his career. And oh yeah, they've got that guy we used to root for. What's his name? Danny Amendola. Coach Belichick and Tom Brady talked about the old wide receiver and facing the AFC East leading Dolphins this week.
Well, he's a great friend, so I'm happy for him and his opportunity, and he's playing well. And he was a great player for us. So I have a great friendship with him, and we'll be friends for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and you can't stop one guy, and they attack you at all different points, horizontally and vertically, and so. If you're deep, you got to be deep. If you're outside, you got to be outside. If you're inside, you got to be inside. As soon as you put too many players in one spot, they go somewhere else. And that's where those 50, 60, 80 yarders come from. So we can't. Discipline, tackling, leverage, those are all critical.
The Finns kicked off the season taking down the Titans, Jets, and Raiders. Tannehill is completing 73% of his passes this season. He's got 687 passing yards for 7 touchdowns under his belt, with only 2 interceptions that he threw in the season opener. So yeah, this guy, he's playing pretty well. 2 other guys the Pats, in particular Tom Brady, should look out for. Kiko Alonso, who's on the leaderboard in the NFL with 34 tackles in his first 3 games. That ranks 3rd amongst all defensive players. And Xavier Howard, who has 3 interceptions for Miami. So another tough week, meaning you guys brought the tough questions. Here's Doug Kyde to answer them all from his Patriots mailbag, or as we like to call it, the Doug bag.
Hello and welcome to this week's mailbag. I'm Doug Kyde. If you have a question for me, tweet at me at Doug Kyde using the hashtag MailDoug, and I might answer your question, or I might not. First question here comes from Truck, also goes by @Yurt. He asks, do the Patriots miss Bolden? He's referencing running back Brandon Bolden. He's on the Patriots for a number of years, now on the Miami Dolphins. Patriots are playing the Dolphins in week 4. And yeah, this week especially, the Patriots definitely miss Brandon Bolden. Bolden was a great special teams player for the Patriots. He also just provided depth as a running back between the tackles, as a pass catcher out of the backfield. Patriots have a lot of issues at running back right now. Jeremy Hill tore his ACL in week 1. He's on injured reserve. Rex Burkhead has a neck injury. He's on injured reserve. That leaves just Sony Michel, James White, and KENYAN Barner on their running back depth chart. And just having Bolden on the roster just as an emergency option would definitely be valuable right now, but he's on the Dolphins. Last question here comes from Min Soo Young, who asks, would Rashard Matthews or Jeremy Curley be able to help this receiving core at all? Both of them would. The Patriots definitely have a lot of issues at wide receiver. I think that Jeremy Curley might be the more likely option for the Patriots. The Patriots actually worked him out this week. I've actually expected Jeremy Curley to join the Patriots for a number of years now. It's never happened. He's been on the Bills, he's been on the Jets, hasn't been on the Dolphins yet, but he's definitely taken that tour of the AFC East. We'll see if the Patriots decide to sign him. He also returns punts. Rashard Matthews, we'll just kind of have to see. It seems like his tenure with the Titans ended kind of poorly. Bill Belichick has a great relationship with Titans general manager John Robinson. He has a great relationship with Titans head coach Mike Vrabel. So he definitely knows all of the issues that Matthews had in Tennessee. So maybe that could preclude the Patriots from bringing on a guy like Matthews, but Patriots did show interest in Matthews in free agency back in 2016. So really anything's possible. I didn't expect the Patriots to acquire Josh Gordon or Corey Coleman, and those things happen as well. So if you have a question for me next week, tweet at me at Doug Kyde using the hashtag MailDoug, and I might answer it.
Thanks, Doug. And now the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to get your fantasy lineups right. Here's NESN.com's Darren Hartwell with who you should start and sit in Week 4 of the NFL season.
Thanks, Courtney. Let's face it, last weekend was a complete disaster for the Patriots on the fantasy front, and this offense looks like it's really struggling right now. But I do think brighter days are ahead this weekend against the Miami Dolphins, who currently own the league's 4th worst passing defense. For that reason, I think Tom Brady's still a must-play at home, as is tight end Rob Gronkowski, despite the double coverage he'll likely face. If you're wondering about Josh Gordon, I'm steering clear of him again this week, as I think his role in this offense is just too unclear at the moment. That said, I would fire up Chris Hogan, as Gordon's presence could help spring Hogan on a few open seam routes. At running back, I'm starting James White and sitting Sony Michel. Why? Because Brady said publicly he wants to get White more involved in this offense, and what Tom wants, Tom gets. On Miami's side, I'm starting running back KENYAN Drake against a Patriots defense that got gashed against the Lions on the ground last week. I think Kenny Stills is a viable wide receiver 3 considering the Patriots' struggles in the secondary so far, while Ryan Tannehill is a low-end QB1 who could be a decent streaming option if you're looking for a Jimmy Garoppolo replacement. And that's your Fantasy Football Minute from Foxborough.
Thanks so much, Darren. And while we know that the Pats are off to a bumpy start to 2018, we also have to be fair. They've had some tough injuries to key players, and the list hasn't really gotten any shorter in Week 4. There is some good news, though, as Patrick Chung and Trey Flowers have resumed practice this week, but have remained limited with concussions. Josh Gordon has been limited since joining the Pats 10 days ago with a hamstring, while Rob Gronkowski has also been limited all week with an ankle injury. Finally, the Pats' secondary depth has some question marks as Eric Rowe has missed some time with a groin injury. Not great. Well, as they say, tough times don't last, tough people do. And one tough guy was old Patriots left tackle Matt Light. Yes, Light gets his call to the Hall at Patriots Place this Saturday, and he's a guy that Patriots fans will always remember. The 3-time Super Bowl champion was a cornerstone of not just the Pats' O-line, but of the whole Patriots offense for over a decade. In 11 seasons in Foxborough, Light played in 155 of a possible 176 games and kept pass rushers off of Tom Brady in 20 of a possible 22 playoff games throughout his career. Pretty incredible. He made 3 Pro Bowls and was named first-team All-Pro in 2007, and on Thursday, he spoke on what the Patriots Hall of Fame means to him.
Just to be recognized along with Richard Seymour and Mike Vrabel. Seymour and I came in here in that class of 2001. He was the first pick, I was the second pick, and it was pretty incredible to watch not just Richard and Mike, but all the other guys that I played with, the guys that have been inducted into the Hall that I spent so many hours, game planning with, practicing with, getting to know, and then just to have the ability to be mentioned alongside those guys, that was literally an incredible moment for me and my family. But to get the call from Mr. Kraft and him welcome me into what is a very elite group of individuals who have done amazing things.
All right, that will do it for this episode of Patriots Now. Thanks so much for tuning in and enjoy another week of NFL madness, including Patriots versus Dolphins at 1 p.m. Eastern from Gillette Stadium. Hopefully the next time we chat, it's to bring good news about the Pats. Bye, guys.